Hey guys! Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very special guest. My sister is here to join us because we got the palettes for the Jeffree Star Jawbreaker Collection that just launched this summer on June 21st, which is the summer solstice. And I'm very excited to have my sister here because she got the Jawbreaker palette, the main feature of the collection, and I received the Mini Breaker palette, and I am super excited for us to dive in. Are you ready to dive in?
Yes.
Then let's dive in. Do you have any words to the audience for what should they expect or anything?
No.
Okay, surprise. So let's dive in. So here we have our palettes, and we are going to open them for you guys. Whereas hers had the white on the outside, mine has the white on the inside, and hers has the pink on the inside. It's very nice chromatic pink, and mine has a chromatic version of her cover. And let's open them. Let's not blind everybody. So, what would you like to say about yours?
It has a lot of colors.
Okay.
Not really many neutrals. I mean, there's a couple, I assume, but there's a lot of colors.
So, would the palette be fitting for anybody who does a lot of neutral looks, or would it be more for those who like color?
I would definitely say more for those who like color. Definitely like one of those things I would probably use if I was going all out or something.
Okay. And yours has, I believe, this palette in particular is the biggest palette Jeffree Star has made to date. How many shades are in there?
A lot.
Okay.
Let me look on the back. I don't have the immediate account.
Well, as she's looking and counting, I'm going to show you guys mine. This is the Mini Breaker, which is full of like oranges, orange tones, pink tones, purples, and like a couple of neutrals that you could play around with. I'm very excited about that, and this has a total of 9 shades, and this is the very first mini palette that Jeffree Star has created. What have we come to?
24, I think.
24. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 24 shades in that palette. And how much does that retail for? Do you know?
No. I'm guessing around $50 maybe.
So the Jawbreaker palette retails for $58, whereas the Mini Breaker retails for $28. That's a $30 price difference. But what did our mom do?
She bought the collection.
She bought the collection / the bundle, where you get both of these for $75. Yes, $75. So that's quite a price difference, and you're actually saving money when you get the bundle. So, shall we get started?
Yeah.
Let's get started. So we are going to start our eyeshadow looks. What are you thinking of doing?
Maybe red and white, maybe like a pop of color in the inner corner or something.
Okay, and I am going to coordinate my look using the appropriate colors from both sides. This is like a pinkish purple, so I will be using the pinkish purple shades on this side. And then on this side, I will be doing the orangey brown, reddish tone shades to match my eyebrows and kind of coordinate with my hair. And then, shall you go over the palette with them?
Yes. Says there's 24 shades. There's about 7 shades in each row.
There's 6 shades in each row.
6, okay. Miscounted. Yeah, so there's 24. And there's like pretty much a rainbow in here if I were to just first look at this. Because there's purple, there's pink, there's red, there's green and like a bunch of colors.
And there's shades in between, yeah.
So
And then do you
I would
want
definitely
to?
say.
And you don't have to read all the shades, but like just like read and like talk about the ones that really pop to you, even if you don't use them.
Soaked is like this really like vibrant blue color, and it looks very pigmented, but I'm not sure. Cotton Candy definitely pops out when you first look at it. I believe it's this shade right here.
This is Shimmery Pink.
Virgin, even though he has a lot of white in his palettes, like blood sugar comes with white and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just always the color that pops out, especially when you have like a lot of color in
And then
here.
white's a staple, so that's good.
Lemon Drop, this really like vibrant yellow color.
Okay.
It's a shimmer. And that's pretty much it. I mean, there's a few browns and purples and like
There's like a couple of neutrals and easy
but there's
colors.
most of the palette pops, but
We don't provide you all the information. There are other influencers out there. Nikki Tutorials discusses the palette. Jeffree Star has his reveal, and he goes over all the shades and the shadows and the names, even if he doesn't describe them. And you can also go on his website and do the research if you would like to, if that helps at all, but we definitely want to provide as much help as possible. For me, definitely the two shades that stick out to me when I look at the Mini Breaker is Orange Crush right off the bat. It's this nice light shimmer, kind of like fleck of glitter orange. And Bubblegum, which is this pink shade right here, which is also in the Jawbreaker palette. And that is right there, if you will show them. So that right there is like this right there, which is pretty cool. So they are, in fact, siblings in that sort of way. So what will you be starting off with?
I think for like a transition shade to start off, I'm going to go in with Cone, which is in the bottom row right here next to this really dark like blue color.
Nice. My eyes are already prepped and primed. And so I will be going in, and we have the same brush sets, so we try not to get the iron brushes confused. But I will be going in with a fluffy blending brush from the 18-piece vegan Morphe brush set. And I will be starting on this side, which is the orangey red tone side. And I will be starting off with the shade Double Scoop, which is this kind of like mustard toned orange. People are saying it's a yellow, and it's not a yellow. But I'll be going in with that as my transition shade. I should probably go like that just to spread it around. And I picked up this trick from Jaclyn Hill where she does this small, is it her or Laura Lee? One of them does like the small circular motions, and that really helps, especially if you're using pressed pigments. Because if you're using like regular eyeshadows, like you can definitely do the swiping or the small circular motions. But I find with the pressed pigments that using the small circular motions helps distribute the pigment better. How do you spread your eyeshadow around?
I do the same thing. I mostly just like go in with it first, and then I start doing circular motions and fluffing it out. I guess you could say blending it out.
Yeah. I just find that that's like easiest.
I want to go from light to dark because I feel like that would be the best thing to do, but also I have a large variety of brushes, so I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm going to go in with this brush.
And then I'm going to go in, using the same brush, I'm going to go in with Orange Crush to deepen that up a bit.
I'm going to go in the shade with Wet Cherry right here. And I'm going to just put that like close to my inner corner, but not really. with licorice right in the corner.
And licorice, I believe, was in Jeffree's reveal video. I believe that was one of the shades that he said was going to be in his blood sugar palette, but unfortunately didn't make the final cut. And so he incorporated it into his Jawbreaker collection since he liked the shade a lot when he created it. Designed it. Okay, there we go. So it's starting to pick up on camera. I just had to really use a hand to go in with it, and it's like a light hand would be great, but for pastel like looks, I remember Tati, she did a video on the collection, and she sort of just used a light hand when using the colors, and so it picked up, but very lightly, because it was like a reflection of her when she was doing colorful looks, and she was doing purple eyeshadow, so it was like this very pastel lilac kind of look. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, and then I'm going to be going in with the shade, and I believe it was said that Double Scoop and Hot Fudge are the only real eyeshadows in this palette, and the other ones are pressed pigments. So it's interesting, and if anything's a not safe, but if I remember somebody, I think it was Pop Lux, he said that if something's a pressed pigment, it doesn't mean that it's not safe for the eyes, it just means that there's dyes in it, especially since Jeffree's brand is vegan and cruelty free. Because carmine is a dye coloring that comes from bugs, and so they have to chemically produce cruelty free and vegan colors and dyes, and incorporate them into the shadows. Okay, so deepening up the look a bit. I feel like I should have taken this in the crease, but that is okay.
I'm gonna go in with the shade Jawbreaker and just like.
And what shade is Jawbreaker?
It's the shimmery white.
Okay.
It's like right there. Because he has a matte white, which is called Virgin, and then he has Jawbreaker.
Okay.
There's definitely a lot of.
And then for this side, I am going to go in with the shade Bubblegum to start the look off. Where are we at with your look?
Well, I just took this little brush and I put raspberry underneath my eye, out of the outer corner of my eye, and I'm taking the shade Brain Freeze, which is like right, like over top of it, and I'm blending that from my inner corner too.
Nice. And then for me, went ahead and I'm practically doing the same thing on both sides, but this side is obviously the pink side, and I had already gone in with the shade Bubblegum and kind of cast that all over. Most people, when they're doing the light pinkish purple, they use Foreplay. I actually used Purple Punch right up in here, because that actually blends out into what people are doing for Foreplay and Bubblegum at the same time. Because Foreplay is this lilac kind of color, and so I just think it's easier to use Purple Punch, because when blending out, it kind of turns into that soft pinkish purple kind of mauve color.
I kind of like it.
Okay. And then I'm going to go back over here. It's not mine.
Yes, that is not yours.
I'm going to go in with Orange Crush on this side, and I'm just going to swirl that around again to make sure that the orange is picking up, because so for the most part, I really like how this is turning out. There's a little bit of kickback in the pan, technical stuff. It turns out that
the eyeshadow had horrible fallout, and I tried to brush it like away, and it stained, not stained, but just did not leave. Like it brushed away, but the pigment spread on my face, so I'm gonna have to find a way to get rid of it. So
yeah.
When you use this palette, please like do something to help fallout.
Make sure you do as much as you can to pack on the powder underneath your eyes. I'm not having that problem, which is kind of interesting, seeing as most people, they have a tacky base. My base was completely blanked out, but there's powder over it, so it wasn't a tacky base. And I'm not having that issue, and I'm still getting like extreme pigment colors and stuff. So that's very interesting.
Well, I did not. It was completely like dry.
I think to even out tones in my look, because I've got like this burnt orange to brown right here. I think I'm gonna take Bite Me, which is also in the Jawbreaker palette. This nice purple, this deep purple, and I'm going to take that, and I'm going to really enhance the edges right here.
So, I'm currently doing my other eye blue because 4th of July is coming up, and there's still fallout from the blue. The blue was a little more hard to blend together than the red was. The fallout wasn't as bad with the blue, but it was definitely still there. I definitely think that when I'm trying to blend it, it's just like sticking to certain places. I didn't prep my eyes before this. I did, but it's like just like concealer and powder and stuff like that. Like no actual like real like prepping and stuff like that. Cause I'm doing the same thing as I did on the other side, but it's not coming out like exactly the same. No. So I'm just like,
Okay. I just cut my crease. It doesn't really look like I cut the crease, but I did. I'm gonna have to define it more. But I just took the shade Slice, which is like this golden yellow shade, and I put that on this side. And on this side, we are going with another flat brush, and we are going in. God, are these like the same brush? No, one smaller than the other. And we are going with the shade Oral, which is like this duochrome bluish purple color. And we are going to pop that on right here on the tacky base after cutting the crease. Making sure that the tacky base picks up. So these are the finished looks using our palettes, brought to you by our mom. So thank you so much for giving us these. Thank you. What would you say about the palette?
Definitely worth your money. There are a few things you have to look out for, but I feel like that comes with most beauty products, I guess. So yeah.
And then for the mini breaker, I say that this is definitely a really good product, and I say you guys should check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Mom, for gifting us these, as well as being able to get a head start on the Jawbreaker Collection. And we hope you guys enjoy this video, and we will see you guys in the next one. Bye!